Hello and happy Monday, everyone, or happy whatever day it is you happen to be watching. We have officially gotten to the time of year that when I get home from work, it is too dark to do any outside projects. So, for the next couple months at least, we're going to be stuck doing a lot of stuff inside. And I was going through the list of things that I could do that we could talk about, I could make videos about, and something that, don't mind my dog's drinking in the background, something that I thought about that I haven't talked about yet is my cast iron pans, which is insane because I love them. So today's video is all about cooking with cast iron. These are standard cast iron pans. Each pan is marked on the bottom by a number. This number represents the size of the pan. The size is measured as the diameter of the pan in inches. Now, depending on the brand, there might be an additional measurement in centimeters, like with my 12-inch pan right here. I have two pans, a 10-inch and a 12-inch, and I love them dearly. Now, those are regular cast iron pans. You can also find cast iron pans like this. This is an enamel-coated cast iron Dutch oven. Just like with the other pans, there is a number on the bottom, but it's generally in quarts or liters. My Dutch oven is a 7.8 quart, and it also shows 7.4 liters. With a lot of enamel-coated pans, they'll come with a matching lid. Both the lid and the pan are oven safe, just like the traditional cast iron pans. This is my OG cast iron cookware. It was gifted to me for Christmas probably close to 6 years ago, and as you can probably see, it's been through some abuse. I've dropped it, it's been knocked off the counter, one handle is partially broken, there are chips in the enamel on the outside, but she's still growing strong, which is why I love cast iron. Now, there are a lot of common misconceptions around cast iron, so we're going to go ahead and talk about those. The first thing that you hear a lot, and it generally steers a lot of people away from using cast iron, is that they're hard to maintain. There's this idea that you can easily damage the seasoning on your pans, but it's actually incredibly difficult to completely ruin one of these things. They are super durable, they can handle a lot of abuse, and take very little effort to restore to pristine condition. Another idea that goes hand in hand with that is that you should never use metal utensils in your cast iron. This is not true. How the seasoning works in your cast iron is that it's not just a thin layer of oil on top of the metal. The seasoning is bonded to the metal. If you see an occasional black flake chip off into your food, off of your pan, it's far more likely that it's actually a bit of carbonized food than the seasoning itself. Now, there are several things that steer people away from cast iron. There are also some common myths that people believe in favor of cast iron. One of those ideas is that cast iron heats evenly. It doesn't. Most times there's a hot spot that you'll see if you watch your pan heat up. The best way to cook with a cast iron is to make sure that your pan fully preheats. Just like you would preheat your oven before you bake anything, you want to fully heat your pan so everything cooks nicely. This can be done either on the stovetop or by transferring your pan from a preheated oven onto a stove. Even with this issue, cast iron is still great for cooking because once your pan gets to temperature, it stays at temperature. This is because the heat emissivity rating, this is how the pan expels heat, is at a 0.64 rating. This means that the food directly touching the pan is getting cooked, as well as the food above it. To compare, the emissivity rating of stainless steel is only 0.07. Another misconception heavily in favor of cast iron is that a well-seasoned cast iron pan will have non-stick properties as good as any non-stick pan out there. That's just not the case. That said, if you properly maintain and preheat your pan, there should be very little issue with food sticking. It's also commonly believed that you should never cook acidic foods in your cast iron. The truth is, in a well-seasoned pan, the food only comes into contact with the seasoning on the pan and not the bare metal itself. But, just like people aren't perfect, neither are our pans. This means that there is the potential for acid in food to come into contact with the metal. That's why it's best to avoid cooking long simmering acidic foods like tomato sauce in your pan. A small amount of acid here and there, like the lemon juice I used in this recipe, won't do anything to your pan and shouldn't have any issue if you continue to properly clean and maintain it. Now, if your pans are enamel coated, you don't have to worry about any of that at all. The enamel coating acts as a seasoning to the pan and is a stronger barrier, so you don't have to worry about any acids leaching through to the iron itself. Now, how about a fun fact? Pans made today are different than ones that were made before the production was streamlined for cast iron pans. In older pans, there was a step that they used after it was cast that sanded it down to a silky smooth finish. After production was scaled up, that sanding process was dropped, so pans nowadays have that rough finish. The pans are basically the same, but no matter how well you season your brand new pan today, it will never get as non-stick as those vintage pans. I suppose I've been dancing around this topic so far, but now we're at the biggest and most controversial idea around cast iron pans, and that is that you can't wash them with soap and water. The seasoning on your pan isn't just a thin layer of oil, it's a thin layer of polymerized oil. This means that the oil has been broken down into a plastic-like substance and has bonded to the pan. This is how your cast iron will have those nonstick properties. So it's perfectly safe to clean your pans with soap and water. Now, what you shouldn't do is let your pan soak in water or run it through the dishwasher. These things won't ruin your pan, but you'll need to put in a little more elbow grease to clean off potential oxidized metal and reseason it afterward. Here are the top care tips I can give you to keep your cast iron at its best. 1. Season it when you get it. New pans generally come pre-seasoned, but it never hurts to add extra layers. 2. Clean it after each use. This is just kind of a no-brainer. 3 is to re-season your pan. Seasoning and re-seasoning your pans are basically the same thing. Set your pan on a burner that is set to high heat. If you're re-seasoning your pan after washing it, you're going to set it on the burner and let it dry until most of the water is out of it, and then add a little bit of oil and rub it around with a paper towel. If you're just seasoning your pan and you haven't washed it, obviously you don't have to wait for the water to dry out of it, and you can just go ahead and wipe that oil around the pan. The best oils to use are neutral oils. This could be vegetable oil, canola oil, flaxseed, shortening, anything like that. Now, this step only takes a couple minutes, so you're going to want to stick close to your pan, otherwise you risk the chance of burning. When the pan starts to smoke, you're going to remove it from the heat, give it one more wipe down, and set it aside to cool. A lot of people believe that seasoning and re-seasoning is difficult, but it's literally just that easy. It's just a couple extra steps. Tip number 4 is to keep using your pan. The more often you use it, the better the seasoning will become. The final tip is don't let your pan stay wet. Water and cast iron aren't the best of buds, and even a little bit of water can cause rust spots. It's not the end of the world though. With some scrubbing and reseasoning, your pan will be good as new. Here's a little bit of look at what a heat spot would look like. So you can see around the edges that there's a nice shine, and then that little spot in the middle there is kind of dull. That's my heat spot in this particular pan. I let it sit for a little too long, but it should still be just fine. And that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something. If you got any questions, please let me know. If you like what you saw, please also let me know. You can follow me here. You can follow me on my Instagram. You can go look at my TikTok. You can also read my blog if you really want to. And with that, I guess that's it. See you guys next week. Bye.